that, right? So Pops, this is where the live gets real interesting, right? This is where I think I'm probably about to get real animated, and I think you will too. And I think the viewers are gonna really enjoy this part of the live, and the people that watch this video when I clip it and put it on the playback are gonna really enjoy this part. So naturally in boxing, when you get a fighter like Kenshiro Teraji, who's one of the most consistent performers, normally knocks the hell out of people in the ring. When he doesn't get a knockout, and he doesn't look like a pound guy, you get all these guys in and around his weight that start running their mouth. Yeah. They start, as the Brits would say, they start chatting shit, right? And it's no different with in this fight with Kenshiro, right? So we're gonna let the screen share. A lot of guys ran their mouths. Now, before we get into the guys that ran their mouths, I wanna make my preferences known and set the stage for you guys. I tweeted this yesterday after I saw many of these guys running their mouths. I said, and I quote, "I hope all these fighters who are running their mouths about Kenshiro actually fight him. The dude made 12 career world title defenses and had an off night, and people have the nerve to say he's not that good. Please."
I'm with you on that one, BT. I think sometimes people start talking too much without actually appreciating or underappreciating a guy like a Kenshiro, and I think it's not right. And all these motherfuckers that are coming out now, like the Puerto Rican from Gonzalez, que viene aquí hablando mierda ahora, cuando él tuvo tiempo para fucking pelear los cabrón ese, perdón para no cabrón, pero respeto con puertorriqueño, pero me cojono. I'm pissed off because this guy right here, all of a sudden, he got something to bug up his ass, and all of a sudden he's injury free or whatever the fuck case has. He had a chance to fight this guy, didn't get in there.
He had a signed contract,
yeah, and everything, and now he wants to come out to his horn. I like you, Bomba. I respect you, Puerto Rican, but please shut the fuck up. Give this guy his flowers. He made all defenses on his fight. So I don't want to hear shit from nobody from the outside. Now they want to come out and say something. So he's only had been knocked down twice or whatever. Or he's only had
he got stopped a couple of years ago, but literally since he got knocked out, I think it was 2021.
Yeah.
Since he got knocked out, he's 4-0, 3 knockouts.
Yeah, man.
Since he got knocked out.
I mean, so I'm gonna say it again. Most of the time, we say the casuals usually talk about the shit or about calling out, making their own proper opinion about somebody. But you're talking about a guy that's made 14 defenses, 12, and he's probably gonna be a Hall of Fame when he leaves or whatever. And you want to sit here and want to come out, bomba, sign the fucking contract.
All right, so look, as you guys see, my dad got carried away there, but look, as you can see on the screen, so shout out to Eddie Morales because this tweet was actually deleted, but Eddie Morales actually screenshotted it and sent it to me the minute it was tweeted. Thank you, Eddie, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have seen it. I tried searching for it on Twitter. It wasn't there. It was deleted. He deleted it because he probably got a lot of heat from it.
Yeah.
But he said, Jonathan Gonzalez tweeted minutes after the fight, he said, "Seeing Kenshiro today, I am more convinced that I am the best 108-pounder in the world." Now, listen, I have a lot of respect for Jonathan Bomo Gonzalez because he actually ended a historically horrible run of form where Puerto Rican boxers were losing seemingly every big fight to Mexicans. And he went into a fight on the road in California in a Mexican, crowd, and he upset a good fighter in Elwin Soto to become champion. And he's defended that belt, 2 or 3 times. And he actually, one of those defenses, he actually wound up going to Japan and taking the O of Shokichi Iwata, who's now emerged as one of the top contenders. And he was actually not the favorite to win that fight. So he's a real champion. And I respect Jonathan Bomo Gonzalez. But to echo my dad's passionate sentiments, this dude had a signed contract to fight Kenshiro, and he pulled out of that fight. And there's been a lot of,
back and forth.
Apparently he's been sick, so to speak, and now he's got to fight this other Puerto Rican dude on the Serrano or the Jake Paul card or whatever.
Yeah.
So my thing is, look, Kenshiro's timeline to try to become undisputed has lengthened because of Jonathan Gonzalez pulling out of fights. And so my thing is this: do what you got to do when you fight this Puerto Rican dude. I forgot the guy's name. I'm sure if Miracle Boxing shows up or somebody remind me who he's fighting.
Yeah.
Do your job. Be him. Be professional. Do your job and make the fight happen. Because I'm gonna tell you this: when I was in Japan and I was in the presence of Kenshiro for about 2 hours at his gym. We sat down at a table. We did the interview. I talked to him at length about the Jonathan Gonzalez fight. Wow. So I know exactly what he thinks about it. And I'll just say this. I won't get too deep into it. I'll just say he loves that fight.
Well, and
he's very confident that when they fight, he's gonna beat the brakes off of him.
And when you have Punch Perfect Boxing here, did he ask me this question if they ever fought? Sure.
I didn't.
Oh, wow.
I didn't. But look, Jonathan Gonzalez is a good boxer. Like I think out of that southpaw stance, he give anybody problems on his best night. You know, all of his losses in his career, they all came when he was at 112. He's never lost. He's undefeated at 108.
Wow.
He's a fantastic 108 pounder. So I'm not saying he's crazy, but my thing is, it's one thing to talk, but you're the only reason this fight hasn't happened. We're only sitting here in January 2024, January 24th of 2024, because you kept pulling out the damn fight. So my thing is, I'm glad you deleted the tweet because talk is cheap. Make the damn fight happen, because I do think, look, that's a southpaw orthodox matchup. Kenshiro got a deadly straight right hand, one of the best straight right hands in boxing. We know that the straight right hand is a southpaw killer. So I'm very intrigued to see how Jonathan Gonzalez is going to navigate the Kenshiro straight right hand and neutralize him. Because I'll tell you, if he can, if Bomba, to me, I class him very highly amongst the active Puerto Rican fighters, because the fact that he's actually went on the road, he's beat a Mexican in front of like a Mexican crowd. He beat a Japanese fighter in Japan. Yeah. He's a real champion.
He's a dog.
But the guys he's beating, as good as they are, the Elwin Sotos and the Iwatas, those are some good fighters.
Right.
But this is a whole different type of caliber. It's a whole different type of beast when you talk about the amazing boy in Kenshiro. So look, it's one of, in my opinion, right now, it is the fight to make in the light flyweight division. I know Kenshiro has expressed his desire to go up to flyweight, but he wants to finish this business at light flyweight, because he became champion in May of 2017. He's been at the world championship level for 7 years now.
Wow. And
he wants to really cement it. So my thing is, do what you got to do. And when the time comes and that contract gets signed, don't pull out next time. And look, he ain't the only one. Jonathan Gonzalez ain't the only one running his mouth. He ain't the only one. A lot of guys are running their mouth about Kenshiro. And one of the other guys is the guy in the weight class right above, you know, and a guy that I'm a huge fan of. Yeah. And that's Sunny Edwards. Sunny Edwards said right here, I'm coming to Japan whenever it's offered. New Year's boxing in Japan is the Madison Square Garden for flyweights, and he's not wrong.
Wow.
Everyone knows that the Japanese, that New Year's Eve date, it's their equivalent of like what Cinco de Mayo is here in the States. Right. So I've already heard my interviews from last year expressing his desire to go to Japan. He remains consistent, and Sunny Edwards has even said he'd be willing to move down to 108 for a fight with for Kenshiro or the Adrian Curiel 7-9 Chinga winner, you know, the winner of that fight. So
I mean, I like that. I like to go on that. I like that from Sunny Edwards. He's willing to do all that. But at the same time, what I expected him to do, and it's not about Inoue, but when he went to Japan and fought Inoue, wasn't Inoue, right? Inoue, right?
Who are you talking
about? Who Edwards fought? Who usually fought?
He never fought in Japan.
Oh no, he didn't.
Think about Paul Butler.
Oh, Paul Butler.
You're getting your Brits mixed up. You're getting your British fighters mixed up. Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah, Bam Rodriguez. I mean, he changed his style. He better not do that if he comes down to 108 and fight Kenshiro, because he will take care of it.
And look, he got real vocal about Kenshiro. So he posted the highlight of him getting dropped, and then he said, "Is this the one that I should be scared of?"
He's confident.
So he's confident.
I like that.
He's confident. And my thing is this. I think Bam fought Sunny Edwards fought the wrong game plan against Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And so I think a Kenshiro fight would be a chance for some much needed redemption for Sunny Edwards. You know, I would like to see him actually fight like himself and not, you know, just try to fight in the pocket. Although it made for an entertaining fight, he didn't give himself the best chance to win that fight. You see what I'm saying?
A lot of people said that.
A win over Kenshiro for Sunny Edwards, I think, would really elevate his place in the sport, because he'd be the first non-Japanese fighter to beat Kenshiro, and Kenshiro is one of the most consistent fighters in boxing today. I'll be honest with you, you know, I like Sunny. I think Sunny would have a chance in that fight. I wouldn't write him off, but that straight right hand, you better find a way to defend it, because if you don't, it's gonna be currents for you too, Sonny. And I like Sunny Edwards. I'm a huge fan. He's one of my favorite fighters in boxing. So my thing is, look, I don't care if it's Sunny. I don't care if it's Jonathan Gonzalez. I don't care if it's the Nochinga Courier winner. When the time comes, these guys better step up and fight Kenshiro, because you know they're doing a lot of talking. And I don't see a whole lot of action. But we'll see.
How you say they were flapping their gums?
We'll see. They're flapping their gums. Let me see. We got a lot of comments in the here. Let me see. We got Eddie Morales, he says, I got you, BT. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you. Appreciate you, champ.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Sanchez, my main man out there in Austin, Texas. Hope all is well. He said, what up, BT and Pop? He said,
up, man?
Calvin Ford is looking crazy right now. Yeah. I actually made a video about that. I got to edit it, but it should be out tomorrow, but I'll talk about it a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the comment with Calvin Ford about Shakur?
No.
So Calvin Ford, he did an interview. Calvin Ford was saying, he was asked basically about Shakur Stevens' last performance and about, if that would, entice Gervonta Davis to fight Shakur. And he pretty much in so many words said that, why would I put Gervonta Davis in the ring in a situation where we can't do what we do? He actually said that.
He's out of jail now?
So in so many words, he was like, look, why would I put him in the ring with a guy, who runs around? He basically said he's boring and that's why he's not fighting him. So what do you think about that? Just real quickly, what do you think about that?
I'm just going to say just like this. I don't want to hear nothing about Tank until he go gets his 2 Ferraris and goes to Saudi and do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no shit from Calvin, his team, and nothing until I see him stop fighting the elites. That's my point.
Yeah, 100%. We got some interesting comments. Shout out to my man OMR, OMVR9. He says, Kenshiro got to move up already. He proved everything in the Kayaguchi fight. Makes history at 112, possibly performs better. He further adds to his legacy by beating a champ there. He has pound-for-pound talent. I don't even look when it comes to hit the subject of the pound-for-pound list. I don't even think it's a debate. He's a pound-for-pound top 10 fighter, and I'm gonna break that down very simply. It's easy. As far as him against Kayaguchi, I'm so glad you brought that up because how soon they forget. That was like you said and so eloquently in this comment down here. You said casuals do not understand that Ken versus Kayaguchi was Bud versus Crawford. Ken showed dimensions of that fight that he was superior. And not just that, Ken in that fight, Kenshiro in that fight, that is one of the most complete performances ever in a big fight, like of the last, 5 to 10 years. And in that fight, I don't like to say guys fought a perfect fight, but that fight was as close to a perfect fight at that level, as you can get. That was on, in my humble, that was on the level of an Inoue versus Foreman or a Crawford versus, Spence.
It really defined them then.
Yeah, because Kayaguchi was supposed to be the one of the top guys. He was actually the lineal champion at 108 pounds.
Right.
And Kenshiro made him look a C-class fighter.
Destroyed him real quick.
Destroyed him. I don't think he won like 2 rounds.
Wow.
Knocked him out. So casuals do not understand that Ken. Yeah, exactly. He showed those dimensions, and that's what it is. Let me get to the couple more comments, and then we'll touch on Nochinga. I don't think Hrgovic was offered a spot on the March 8th card in Saudi. I'll tell you guys this. I reached out to Hrgovic earlier this week. I was trying to get him on the channel for an interview. I reached out to a lot of fighters for interviews this week. And Hrgovic is one of the guys that I reached out to for an interview. And basically, he got back to me and he said, what the fuck do you want me to say? Like, what is there to talk about? These guys don't want to fight me type thing. So
he just
I think based on his response, he's waiting for news himself. That's the news I can give you is that Filip Hrgovic seems slightly disgruntled with what's happening or not happening in Saudi. But I did reach out to him this week for an interview, and he's I told him to still come on. Yeah. He hasn't got back to me yet.
That's very understandable, Brandon. Think about it. You get the Parker calling you going out. You get this fight, you get that fight, and then all of a sudden the same old thing happens again. So I can understand why he's frustrated, even with the real true sports there.
Facts. Young Gun TV says Homestead. That's right. South Florida. The whole South Florida. Homestead, Goulds, Perrine, Naranja, Leisure City, Dania Beach, Weston, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Miami, the whole South Florida. Pembroke Pines, the whole South Florida. Good to see you, Brandon. Good to see you. Stop by to hit that like button. Catch you on the playback. Hope all is well, Brandon. Keep training hard. Now, look, one last thing about potential matchups for Kenshiro before we get into like the whole pound for pound thing and is he pound for pound? Last thing. Now, the other option that he does have, that being Kenshiro, is the winner of a potential Nochinga fight, the Nochinga Korea winner, which I've already kind of discussed. Shout out to Levi Luna. I'm a big fan of Levi Luna. Levi Luna, for those of you who don't know, he's a Nicaraguan reporter. This guy is like the authority on Romo Gonzalez. Like this guy he's done like he's been interviewing Romo Gonzalez since like way back when, right? So he had a tweet and he said, as long as Adrian Carrillo wins in the rematch against Nochinga, and I think it will be like that, Kenshiro remains at 108. The fight I want to see most in that category is the clash between those two. Now, I did a video, I think last month, and I pretty much stated that fight to me would be a great representation. Both those fighters, I think, Kenshiro and Kuriel, they both are a good representation of the styles of the respective countries. Like I think Kenshiro is the Japanese style of boxing at like the highest level. And I think Adrian Kuriel, he's like a very high level representation of the Mexican style.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you this. You can't count your chickens before the eggs hatch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got to get past Nochinga. Now, a lot of people are riding off Nochinga. They say Nochinga, he got knocked out. He's not that good. He's a hype job, exposed, this, that, and the third. Look, before he got knocked out, I was telling you guys that the fight to make at 108 wasn't Jonathan Gonzalez. It was actually Nochinga.
Wow.
Now he's got to basically win the title back the way he won it the first time. I don't know this, but when Nochinga became champion, he won it in Mexico against Mexican. Wow. So now he has to go back to Mexico and get it back again from a Mexican.
That's crazy.
So that to me is one of the most intriguing fights on the card. As far as the matchup, I think Kuriel presents some problems for Kenshiro, only because you look at what Canizales was able to do. Kuriel fights in a similar fashion. His punch selection is very similar. He has a great gas tank. Kenshiro isn't exactly Pernell Whitaker. You can hit him. But I think Nochinga has the length, the youth, and the size to also give Kenshiro a problem. So look, I'm good with him finding the winner. I think him versus either one of them two will suffice. Right. It'll be more than okay. Enough. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give my quick little thoughts on that. And then, all right, just to get to the